What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, and I'm here with a breaking news update from Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, and this is not a good update, guys. Yet another injury for the Kansas City Chiefs, but according to sources, Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker is expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks and is likely headed to injured reserve with a left knee injury. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network is also reporting that Harrison Butker is expected to have surgery to trim his meniscus in his left knee, per source. And then lastly, Adam Schefter also reported that the Chiefs are signing kicker Spencer Schrader off the Jets practice squad to kick in place of Harrison Butker. I don't think it takes an expert or a rocket scientist to figure out that this is a rather significant injury for the Kansas City Chiefs. Losing Harrison Butker is a massive loss. Now, typically with Chiefs teams of years past, you could get away without having Harrison Butker for a few weeks, which if it's true that it's 3 to 4 weeks, that's what his IR stint is. That's not too bad. You'll get him back before the end of the season. But I wouldn't even be surprised if he stayed on IR for a little bit longer than that, just because he is a kicker and it's a pretty significant knee injury. But nonetheless, Chiefs teams of years past, you could get away with having, a subpar kicker because this offense would be able to put up enough points. But this is a Chiefs team now that is not built to win with their offense. We know that. If you've watched the Chiefs all season long, you know that. As much as I think the offense will come along eventually, and it's a work in progress at the moment, you look at the margins in the Chiefs' victories. We're talking 7 points, 3 points, an overtime win versus the Buccaneers, where the coin flip likely won them the game. They beat the Broncos on a blocked field goal. They won that game by 2 points. They beat the Raiders by 7. Now, I'm not trying to downplay the Chiefs' wins or anything like that, and I think being 9-0 is a great thing, but these are games in which the kicker likely decides the victory, and now you don't have that elite kicker in Harrison Butker there for the time being, and that's a pretty massive loss. You now aren't going to be able to rely on your kicker to score 6 or 9 of your points in every single game. This offense is going to have to start converting in the red zone a lot more than they have been as of recently, and they're going to have to create more explosive plays. That margin for error that you had before, and having an elite kicker that you know can make it from 50, 60 yards out, you no longer have that luxury. You cannot just settle now on the opposing team's side of the field. You have to be more aggressive on offense. Andy Reid is going to have to get more creative to find ways to attack teams in the red zone. He's going to have to put his pedal to the metal now. Now, luckily, with the Chiefs being 9-0, you have that cushion of being able to afford a couple of losses and probably still lead the AFC. But a loss to the Bills this weekend would make things a lot more difficult, because then they'd only be 1 game back and they would own any sort of tiebreaker against you because of the fact that they beat you in the head-to-head matchup. And also, the Bills division this year is a cakewalk. So, again, the tiebreaker would most likely go to the Bills. But that's just me looking at the Bills game in particular. This is something that's going to be a problem in the short term, and also, over the next month, maybe 2 months. Again, I know what the report said, 3 to 4 weeks. I would not be shocked at all if Harrison Butker's stay on IR was a little bit longer than 3 to 4 weeks. Look, this isn't a season-ending injury, and that's a good thing. If you want to take a positive from this, it's not season-ending. He will be back. He's getting his meniscus trimmed. It sounds like there was some discomfort in that knee. That would probably also explain why Harrison Butker botched that kick at the end of the Broncos game, in which he gave them great field position. I'm not totally sure that was intentional, and now we might know what the cause of that was. But regardless, not great. I mean, these injuries, guys, they just keep piling up for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're getting ridiculous at this point. And we've seen in the past what these replacement kickers can do. They're usually not very good. Spencer Schrader, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on him, and who knows, maybe he comes in here and surprises. But my guy, how about those Chiefs? He put out a tweet right after this, And just to put things into perspective, Harrison Butker's career field goal percentage is 89.2. Spencer Strader's college career field goal percentage, a 68.2. Not great, guys. Not great. And this isn't the first time we've seen a replacement kicker come in because Harrison Butker was dealing with an injury. He had the ankle a couple of years ago that he tweaked, and we saw Matt Amendola come in here, and I think there was another Matt, can't remember the other one. The Chiefs brought in a couple of different kickers, and they were all terrible. It hurts. I mean, there was that weird Colts loss a couple years ago in 2022 where we lost most likely because of our kicker. We didn't have Harrison Butker in that game, and I believe that was Matt Amendola in that game. You have a good kicker in that game. You have Harrison Butker. You win that game. But again, my biggest concern is the fact that this offense we've seen kind of evolve, not necessarily in a great way over the last couple of years. They're still able to win games. They win in different ways, but they're not the type to put up 30, 40 points a game anymore. I mean, they haven't scored more than 30 points in a game all season, and it's causing these margins for error to be razor thin in these regular season games. And we have to admit, guys, the Chiefs have had a little bit of luck go their way in this 9-0 run. That Broncos game, 95% of the time ends in a Broncos victory when the other team runs down the clock and kicks a game-winning field goal attempt. Usually that team wins. The Chiefs got lucky, per se. So not having Harrison Butker there, that elite kicker that you can lean on, it's really going to hurt. But those are my thoughts on the breaking news that Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker will be headed to IR for 3 to 4 weeks with a meniscus injury, it sounds like. It's not good, guys. You just have to hope by the end of the season that a lot of these guys can get healthy, can get right, and the Chiefs are at somewhat full strength by the end of it. But man, these injuries just keep piling up. Lastly, I did want to include one tweet that I saw that was rather interesting, and this was from Drew Butler on Twitter, and he says, Harrison Butker has collapsed on his left knee following through every kick this season. It's a change in his technique that really caught my attention, and unfortunately, it's not surprising his left knee needs a meniscus procedure. Hope he gets healthy. And I never really noticed this, so thanks to Drew Butler for pointing that out. Shout out there. But yeah, collapsing on your left knee after every single kick is not necessarily a sign of good health for a kicker. So I'm glad that this is not something that the Chiefs continue to wait on, because Harrison Butker also popped up on the injury report earlier too, a few days ago. So yeah, whatever happened, I'm glad it's getting taken care of now before the postseason, because that's when you're really going to need Harrison Butker. So again, those are my thoughts on the Harrison Butker injury, but I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below what your thoughts are on this, what your reaction is. How concerned are you on a scale from 1 to 10 about the Kansas City Chiefs without their star kicker? Let me know. But with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this, and make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com for more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Go Chiefs!